شكرا يا شيخ. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ikhwan, Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa' wa min qalbin la yakhsha' wa min nafsin la tashba' wa min du'a la yusma'. Verily, Ya Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, and from a heart that has no fear, and from a soul that has no satisfaction or contentment, and from a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed, إخوان, فنواصل معكم في هذا الدرس للعائلة عونا من الرحمن الرحيم في علم الفقه. So we continue tonight in our family class, whereas we're learning from the science of al-fiqh, من كتاب الشيخ الإمام العلامة الفقيه المفسر اللغوي الشيخ عبد الرحمن ibn Nasir al-Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala. Can somebody move the tables there for the sisters? May Allah bless you all. As we continue listening and benefiting from the words of the noble Imam, the noble Shaykh Abdul Rahman ibn Nasir al-Sa'di, may Allah have mercy upon him. هذا السؤال من? This question is for who يا إخوان? من صاحبه? Who wants to answer? هذا الحديث عن من؟ وهو عند من? This hadith ماسي افتح المصباح للنساء. Open the light for the sisters إن شاء الله. طيب, this question is for the brothers. Who is the narrator of this hadith? And what book is it collected in? قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. Whoever Allah intends good for, He gives him an understanding of the religion. Whoever Allah intends good for, He gives him an understanding of the religion. هذا عن من? This hadith is narrated by who? Hishmatullah. Abu Hurairah is one narrator, collected by
Bukhari ومسلم.
جميلا. الحديث عند البخاري ومسلم ولكن ليس عن أبي هريرة. The hadith is narrated or collected by Abu Hurairah, but not. The hadith is collected by Bukhari Muslim, but not by Abu Hurairah. It is narrated by Abu Hurairah, but his hadith is not in Bukhari Muslim. عن من? Who is it narrated by? Not Uthman, not Anas. Masi. Whoever Allah intends good for, He gives him understanding of the religion. عن من? Who's the narrator? It is collected by Tirmidhi. Narrated by who? Not Aisha. عند نسائنا, our beloved sisters. من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. Whoever Allah intends good for, He gives him understanding of the religion. Who's the narrator and what book is it collected in? It is in the Sunnah of Ibn Majah from Anas. Oh, تقربتي أيضا. Close. طيب, اذكروا أو اكتبوا هذه الفائدة. Write this benefit down يا إخوان. هذا الحديث جاء عن 3 من الصحابة. This one hadith has 3 narrators. جاء عن معاوية وعن ابن عباس وعن أبي هريرة. The hadith is narrated by Muawiyah. It's also narrated by Ibn Abbas Our brother, he says, Muawiyah. Ahsant. It is narrated by Muawiyah. It's also narrated by Ibn Abbas. It's also narrated by Abu Hurairah. ثلاثة من الصحابة, 3 companions. حديث طيب جاء عن من? Who is it narrated by? Masi? Ibn Abbas? Abu Hurairah? Muawiyah. حديث معاوية أصح حديث. حديثه عند البخاري ومسلم. The hadith of Muawiyah is the most authentic of the 3. Muawiyah's narration is collected in Bukhari and Muslim. Muawiyah's narration is collected in Bukhari and Muslim. Hadith Ibn Abbas عند أحمد وترمذي. Hadith Ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Abbas' narration is collected by Ahmed and Tirmidhi. Ahmed, Tirmidhi. Hadith Abu Hurairah عند Ibn Majah. The hadith of Abu Hurairah, as our sister said, is in the Sunan, is collected by Ibn Majah. So 3 narrators, each one of their reports are in a different book. Each one of their reports are in a different book. هذه الفائدة لطلاب الحديث ونسأل الله تعالى أن يجعلنا وإياكم منهم. That's a benefit for the students of hadith. May Allah make us and you from the true students of hadith. طيب أين وصلنا؟ Where did we arrive يا إخوان؟ عند الإمام السعدي. باب الاستنجاء. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. May Allah bless you. باب الاستنجاء. نعم. طيب. قال الإمام السعدي رحمه الله تعالى. Imam Sa'di, he continues, باب الاستنجاء وآداب قضاء الحاجة. طيب, chapter, the manners, طيب, chapter of cleansing oneself upon using the bathroom with water. Cleansing oneself upon using the bathroom with water. وآداب قضاء الحاجة, and the manners of relieving oneself. And the manners of relieving oneself. طيب. إذا العبد مثلا يبول وينظف نفسه بالماء. هذا أو لهذا الفعل اسم. طيب. If the person uses the bathroom and they do it number 1, for example, or it could be number 2, and they use water to cleanse themselves. This is called al-istinja. Al-istinja. Al-istinja النظافة بعد البول من الماء. النظافة بعد البول من الماء. Istinja. What is istinja? To cleanse oneself after using the bathroom with water. After using the bathroom with water. وإذا العبد يبول أو يتبرز ويستخدم حجرا أو ورقة, هذا يسمى الاستجمار. الاستجمار. If the man or woman, it's the same, the man or the woman, they do it number 1 or number 2, and then they don't use water, they use stones or rocks or pebbles or gravel or tissue or paper. This is called al-istijmar. Al-istijmar. فعندنا كلمتان جديدتان. So now we have 2 new words. الاستنجاء والاستجمار. الاستنجاء والاستجمار. 2 new words. Al-istinja'u is to cleanse oneself after urinating with water. Al-istijmaru النظافة بعد البول بالحجر. هذا الأصل. أو بغير حجر. Istijmar, the origin of istijmar is to use stones or rocks to cleanse yourself. This is the origin. However, if you use paper or a leaf or whatever else that's not water, this is also called istijmar.
النظافة بعد
البول بالحجر with rocks or stones. من منا استخدم حجرا استجمارا? Who from amongst us ever used rocks or pebbles to cleanse themselves? ما شاء الله. أنا فعلته مرة واحدة في اليمن. I did it once في اليمن. وأول مرة my first time there كنت مع الشيخ أبو الفداء معمر القدسي حفظه الله تعالى، وكنا من مدينته سافرين إلى شيخ آخر إلى مدينة آخر للدعوة. So we were there in Yemen with our Sheikh Abu al-Fida Ma'mar al-Qadisi, and we were leaving from his city going to another place, and he was given da'wah. وعلى الطريق توجد الخلاء, and on the path there were different outhouses to use the bathroom. لكن أنا ولدت في أمريكا للأسف, but I was born in America unfortunately. فما تعودت على الاستجمار والاستنجاء مثلا. So I wasn't raised upon cleansing yourself with water. I didn't know about that. I wasn't raised upon cleansing yourself with rocks. I never knew about that. I didn't learn that. فالآن أنا أكون مسلما. Now I'm Muslim. الحمد لله. وأكون عند بلاد المسلمين. And I'm in the land of the Muslims. فعلي أن طيب النساء موجودات يا إخوان. The women are here. So sometimes we can't say certain things. طيب I won't translate this. فكان لي حاجة لأن أبول. طيب. So I had the need to do something. فبحثت وبحثت وبحثت. So I was searching for some tissue. I don't know how to go to the bathroom and use rocks. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. فأخذت نصف ساعة. So I took a half hour running around, going to this store. I ran up the hill, went around a tree, went around a corner. هل عندكم مناديل؟ هل عندكم مناديل؟ أحتاج أن أستعمل الحمام. I'm asking the store owners, do you have any tissue? Do you have any tissue? I have to use the bathroom. Where's the tissue? So they said, من أين أنت? Where are you from يا أخي? أنا قلت أنا ولدت في أمريكا. I said, I was born in America. فضحكوا. So they began to laugh. مسكين هذا ما شاء الله. فأنا قلت أنتم تضحكون علي أنا أستعمل الحمام. I said, you guys are laughing. I have to use the bathroom. فقال عليك تفضل. So they said, go use the bathroom. فقلت يا أخي بماذا أنظف نفسي? So I said to the brothers, what am I going to cleanse myself with? ما عندكم مناديل. You don't have no tissue. ما عندكم أوراق. ما عندكم شيء. I said, you don't got paper. You don't got napkins. What am I going to use? فقال الشيخ عليك أن تطبق السنة. So the Sheikh Abu al-Fida said, you have to implement the sunnah يا أخي. You're not in America. The bathrooms here don't have tissue. Implement the sunnah. فقلت أيش السنة? I said, what's the sunnah here? قال ابحث عن الأحجار وتبرز ونظف نفسك بهذه الأحجار. So the Sheikh said, go and find some rocks, some pebbles, some stones. I said, and then do what? What am I going to do with these rocks? What am I going to do? So the Sheikh says, use the bathroom and cleanse yourself with these rocks. So I held it and held it and held it for a few hours. حتى يتضرر بطني. And I held it so long until, you ever hold it when you got to go to the bathroom? Until my stomach was bringing me pain. And the trip was hours and we're on the bus and I'm in so much pain and pain and pain. فقلت خلاص علي أن أخرج علي أن أتبرز. So I said to the driver, stop. I got to get off the bus. I got to use the bathroom. Enough, it's enough. So هذا أول مرة استعملت هذه الحجارة يا إخوان. So this is the first time I had to use those rocks there يا إخوان. هذه من سنة النبي. That's the sunnah of the Messenger عليه الصلاة والسلام. طيب, so 2 words. Massey, first word.
How many rocks? 3 times?
طيب, the sunnah is 3 times. لكن إذا عليك أن تزيد فزد. But if you're not clean after 3 times, you don't say, hey, that's it. No, you may have to do more. And you try to stop on the odd number.
So that means like you have to use 3 different rocks, right?
You can use 3 different ones or 3 different sides. If you have a nice size rock, it may have 3 different crevices, 3 different mother, sides. So you may wipe once, if you can, and then however you can do that, ikhwan. No one uses this anymore. We're spoiled. We're in America now. We live in the microwave city, microwave society. Everything is microwave, ya ikhwan. لا يمكننا أن نعيش بدون الهاتف. We can't live without our phones. فكيف نستخدم أحجارا بالتنظيف? So how are we going to use rocks to cleanse ourselves? ما شاء الله. may Allah help us, ya ikhwan. طيب. قال الإمام السعدي يستحب إذا دخل الخلاء أن يقدم أو أن يقدم رجله اليسرى. He says, it's recommended upon going into the laboratory that you put forth first your right foot. ويقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث من حديث أنس عند البخاري ومسلم وفي السنن. He says, and that you say, by the name of Allah, or with the name of Allah, O Allah, I seek refuge with you from the male and female jinn. And this hadith is hadith of Anas, collected by Bukhari and Muslim. Now, ارفعي قليلا, raise your voice slightly. That's the right foot, should be left foot. And يقدم رجله اليسرى. When you come in the hammam, you come in on your left foot. وعندما تخرج باليمنى. When you come in the hammam, or the place of relieving yourself, you go in on your left. When you're finished, and you come out on the right. سؤال الثاني, question number 2. هل هذا خاص للرجال أو يشمل الرجال والنساء? Is this specific for the men, or does it include the women and the men? يشمل الرجال والنساء. It includes both, يا إخوان. في أغلب أحكام الإسلام يشمل الرجال والنساء إلا أشياء دقيقة. Usually in Islam, this is a principle, يا إخوان. Almost all of the rulings, Sheikh Abdullah, is the same for the men and the women, except a few small intricate details are different. The general rulings are the same for the men and the same for the women. مثلا النساء تستر عورتهن هذه من السنة نفس الشيء للرجال. The women, they cover themselves, they cover their aura. That's from al-Islam, that's from the sunnah. Likewise the men, it's the sunnah of the men and it's the sunnah of the women. المرأة مثلا تتحجب وهذا من السنة. والرجل كذلك يلبس ثوبا أو ما يشابه أو ما يشبه ثوبا هذا كذلك من السنة. The women, they wear a jilbab. That's the sunnah, to cover their whole bodies. The men also wear a thobe, or that which resembles a thobe. This is also a sunnah of the Messenger عليه الصلاة والسلام. قال السعدي وإذا خرج منه قدم اليمنى وقال غفرانك الحمد لله الذي أذهب عني الأذى وعافاني. He says, rahimahullah ta'ala, and when the person comes out of the hammam, he comes out, as the sister reminded us, upon his right foot. And he says, "O Allah, I seek your forgiveness. All praise belongs to Allah, الذي أذهب عني الأذى وعافاني, the one who has taken away from me this discomfort, this pain, وعافاني, and pardoned me." هذا الحديث من حديث أنس. This hadith is narrated by Anas. وهو عند ابن ماجه, and is collected by Imam Ibn Majah في السنن. That the Messenger of Allah would say, غفرانك, and he would say, الحمد لله الذي أذهب عني الأذى وعافاني. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness, and all praise belongs to Allah, the one that has taken away from me this discomfort and has pardoned me. This hadith is hadith of Anas ibn Malik عند Imam Ibn Majah, and is collected by Imam Ibn Majah. لكنه ضعيف, but is weak. هو عند الإمام ابن ماجه من حديث أنس ولكنه ضعيف. It's narrated by Anas. It's collected by Ibn Majah al-Qizwini rahimahullah but it is weak. قال في إسناد إسماعيل ابن مسلم. A benefit. What makes it weak? There's a man in the chain, first man of tonight. I want you to اكتبوا هذا الاسم. Write this name down. I want you to write this name down. His name is Ismail ibn Muslim. Ismail ibn Muslim. وهو ضعيف بالاتفاق. And he is weak, and all of the scholars are unanimous in this regard. All of the scholars of hadith say he's weak. أحيانا يا إخوان الشيخ يختلف مع شيخ آخر وهذا يقع كثيرا. Sometimes you find the scholars differ. This sheikh has an opinion. This other sheikh differs. And that happens a lot of times يا إخوان. في الفقه, في الحديث, في التفسير, في اللغة. This happens a lot in al-fiqh. Sometimes you find it in hadith. You also find it in tafsir. You also find it مثلا in the Arabic language. With the scholars they differ. With the scholars they differ. هنا إسماعيل بن مسلم هو ضعيف باتفاق العلماء. This man Ismail ibn Muslim, all of the scholars they say that he's weak. طيب وضعفه المنذري. So who made it weak, or rather who says it's weak? وهذا مهم. This is important يا إخوان. أحيانا نضعف شيئا لكن من نحن؟ لا، علينا أن ننظر إلى من قبلنا يضعفه وهذا مهم. Sometimes we say something is weak. However, who are we? The citizen says, no, this is weak, brother. The brother said, no, that's weak. Who are we? We have to look at those great imams that came before us. The scholars of hadith, if we're talking about hadith, who said it's weak. So we have the hadith that's narrated by Anas. It's collected by Ibn Majah, but it's weak. Why is it weak? The man, his name is Ismail ibn Muslim. All of the scholars say he's weak. Who are from them? And if you can, try to learn who said. Anytime you come across something is weak, try to learn the reason is weak, if you can. إن استطعتم, if you can. وكذلك من ضعف إن استطعتم. Also, who said is weak, if you can. So those that say is weak from them is Imam al-Mundiri. Imam al-Mundiri. He is from those that said is weak. وكذلك الإمام ابن كثير. وكذلك الإمام ابن كثير. He said is weak. طيب. That's a benefit يا إخوان. If you come across something is weak, تمر بشيء ضعيف مثلا. حاولوا أن تتعلموا لماذا هو ضعيف. وكذلك من قال أنه ضعيف. إن استطعتم إليه سبيلا. إن استطعتم إليه سبيلا. Anytime you come across something and you learn it's weak, try to learn why is it weak. Who makes it weak? Who's the man? Who's the woman? Who's the man? As we mentioned, there are no female scholars of hadith that were weak. That's a bushra for our women. MashaAllah. In Islamic history, Allahu Akbar, may Allah make us like the women. There's not been one female scholar of hadith that's considered weak. That's a benefit for Allah favored the women. MashaAllah. طيب.
Regarding these toilets that we're going to use, there's a toilet and there's a sink. Whenever غفرانك, how we should.
when وها. طيب غفرانك يا إخوان ليس علينا أن نقول غفرانك بصوت عال. طيب, first of all, you don't have to say, oh Allah forgive me, in a loud voice. You don't have to say that, but you can. But you don't have to. يمكنك أن تقوله سرا. You can say it to yourself.
غفرانك الصحيح الحمد لله الذي أذهب عني الأذى.
This whole hadith here is daif. But there's another narration that comes when he said Gufranaka, also narrated by Anas. So this word in here is weak. But there's another narration that supports Gufranaka being authentic. That's a good point.
We can't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name in the Hammam, right? How we should say Bismillah when we do starting there's toilet, and how we should say Bismillah.
كنا يا إخوان قبل حكم ذكر اسم الله لفظ جلالة. We mentioned some time ago, what's the ruling on saying Allah's name في الخلاء, in the laboratory. قلنا أن بعض العلماء يحرمونه, وأن بعض العلماء ماذا يقولون أنه مكروه, وهذا هو صحيح والله أعلم. Some scholars say it's haram. The sister's in the hammam, she's talking with her sister friends, her girlfriends. How everything, girl, mashallah, how's your day? Alhamdulillah, you haven't made no TikTok videos in a long time. I just made one the other day, mashallah ta'ala. And then she says, Bismillah out loud. Some scholars say that's haram, to say Bismillah out loud. The correct opinion is the second opinion. That it's not haram, but it's disliked, it's hated, because there's no proof that it's haram. Specific proof. However, the one on the sunnah, illa bil haja, except with the necessity, is not going to talk in the hammam. Nonetheless, mention Allah's name. He's not going to talk. الكلام في الخلاء بدون حاجة مكروه. ليس حراما مكروه. Speaking, no matter what you're talking about, take Allah's name to the side. We're talking about sports. We're talking about shooting hoops. We're talking about jumping rope. We're talking about whatever in the bathroom. This is hated, unless there's a need. You can't say it's haram because you need proof to say it's haram. So generally, there's general positions about showing honor to Allah's names and Allah's rituals and the likes. But specifically, there's no proof that Allah and His Messenger said to say Allah's name in the khala is haram. A strong proof that they use to say it's hated is a hadith. عندما مر شخص بالنبي عليه الصلاة والسلام وكان يبول. The hadith was hadith في السنن. One time there was a man, he passed by the Messenger of Allah, and he noticed the Messenger of Allah was using the khala. He noticed him. And the Prophet was doing it number one. And the man says, Salaam alaikum ya Rasulullah. May the peace of Allah be upon you, O Messenger of Allah. وَمَا قَالَ النَّبِيُّ شَيْئًا كَانَ سَاكِتًا. And the Prophet did not say anything. He was quiet. بعد ذلك توضأ النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام وذهب إلى هذا المتكلم الذي يسلم عليه ورد السلام عليه وقال إني كرهت أن أذكر الله تعالى وأنا على غير طهارة وكما قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. After using the hammam, the Messenger of Allah made wudu, court back up to the man and said, Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Verily I dislike his wording. I dislike to mention Allah, to remember Allah, while I'm not in a state of other than purification, or I'm in a state of other than purification. Ash-shahid huna, the point here, qala karihtu. The Prophet said, I dislike. So this is the strongest opinion. Wallahu alam. Those that say it's haram, they don't come with no specific evidence from the Quran or from the Sunnah. So how do you say the Bismillah? If you say Bismillah out loud, there's no harm. As we mentioned, it's not haram, it's disliked. طيب. For those that say the Bismillah is obligatory, يقدمون الواجب على المكروه. وهذا من أصول الفقه. وهذا من الفقه. For those scholars that say saying Bismillah is obligatory when you make wudu, we mentioned the scholars differ there. Some say you have to say Bismillah when you make wudu or you have no wudu. The strongest opinion is that it's recommended. For those that say it's obligatory, how do they coincide? They say here, you have to say Bismillah, the obligation overrides what's disliked if you're in the bathroom. Or just say it to yourself. Or before you go in the bathroom to make wudu, you can say Bismillah. As you come out the hammam, as you're coming out, Ghufranaka. When you come out, Ghufranaka. You don't ever have to speak in the bathroom illa bil haja, unless there's a need. بدون حاجات حاولوا أن لا تتكلموا أن لا تتكلموا. If you don't have a necessity, try your best not to talk. What about if someone is talking to you? That's going to be rude. The brother's ignoring me. I'm talking to Sheikh Mara. Hey, how's everything, ya akhi? وهو ساكت. And he's quiet. That's rude, ya akhi. How are you not talking to me? And then after you leave, you give some da'wah. I wasn't being rude, mashallah. I was implementing what's recommended. It's not recommended to talk while you're in the bathroom without a need. He says, mashallah, I never knew that. Now he learned something new. And he goes and teaches companions, his friends, his students, his family. And this is something all of us should do. You go home, hey, Ummi, this is what we learned tonight. It pleased us today. There was a sister there, may Allah raise her and her family. And I was watching the guys shoot hoops at the houses. And she says, mashallah ta'ala, my son or my daughter is learning from you. And they gave a definition of something. And it was the same definition that we mentioned in class, mashallah. And it pleases us, ya ikhwan, that the people are learning and then taking it back to their students, mashallah ta'ala. And that's a blessing, ya ikhwan. And this should be the goal. Every teacher should want to produce students. And then that teacher should want to produce students. Likewise, the women. Our beloved teachers are there teaching the women, mashallah ta'ala. And then they become the teachers, and then they teach. And it's how it goes from jeel ila jeel, from generation to generation, ya ikhwan. You guys keep up the good work. May Allah bless you all. Many of our companions back home, they say from time to time, I'm thinking about moving to that community. Those guys and those sisters are learning. They're benefiting. MashaAllah, ya ikhwan. We say ahlan wa ahlan. You guys are welcome. طيب تفضل يا شيخ عبد الفتاح.
If one is using the urinal, for example, and he's standing, he knows because of the distance, some of the water is going to splash, the pee is going to splash back on him.
No.
Can he still do it and just use pure water just to wipe it over his clothes?
He can do that. He can. It's not obligatory to stand while you're urinating. It's highly recommended to stand. However, to purify yourself, you should try your best to sit. If you can't sit, and you cleanse the thing with urine يا إخوان إذا مسك في الجسد أو في مثلا الثوب أو ما أشبه ذلك. If the urine touches your person, your skin, or your garment, you have to إزالتها أو إزالته. You have to remove it. So sometimes standing up, you can't see what splashes on you. You may think you saw that, but what about the ones that you didn't see? So it's highly recommended to sit. It takes more time. You have to take off your clothes nowadays and your thobe and this, but it's more honorable. It's better. And it's atahar. It's more clean, it's more pure. So you can stand, it's not obligatory. Nobody can say it's obligatory to stand. However, you just have to be safe. You have to make sure, to the best of your ability, that you protect yourself from the return of the urine that you can't see.
What constitutes as the bathroom?
What constitutes the bathroom? بقعة الخلاء. بقعة الحاجة. That's a good question. What makes the bathroom? The bathroom is the place of relieving yourself. ليس المكان. Not the entire place. البقعة. The place itself. مثلا عندنا الحمامات. We have bathrooms here. We have bathrooms with the sisters, mashallah. We have bathrooms below. إذا مثلا لا يوجد أو لا توجد مراحيض في هذه الغرف لا يسمى حماما. Suppose there's no toilets there, then we wouldn't call that a bathroom. The bathroom is the place that the toilet is there. If you have an American toilet or the Arab toilet, that's mashallah, there's no sit down thingy. For example, I have some stories about that. The first time I used this also, ya ikhwan, I never saw that. I was born in America. So when you go to a Muslim land and you go into the apartment, you say, hey, أين المرحاض? Where is the toilet? كيف أبول? How am I going to use the bathroom? They say, mashallah ya akhi, عليك بهذا. You have to use that. I say, how am I going to get down there? First of all, how can I sit like that, ya akhi? I can't read my magazine. I'm American. When we were young, you gotta go to the bathroom. You say, hey, I'll be right outside, ya akhi, I gotta use the bathroom. And you grab 5 magazines. And you go in there, and you're relaxing, and you're reading away. You're not even using. That's most of us, ikhwan. And then you go to the Muslim, and then you go to the Muslim country, and you see, mashallah, America is so backwards. America is so this and that. And then scientifically, we don't need this to understand our sunnah. No, but it's more healthy to use the bathroom how they used it in the time of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, to your colon and your stomach and the legs, to sit in that position, not to rest on the mirhad like that, but to squat over. There are many medical benefits there. Our sister had her hand up first, and then we get Sheikh Myra, inshallah. Tafadali.
So I don't know if it's just with salah, but the position of remembering Allah and doing the lips, so does that like affect it whenever you say that?
One more time.
So remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the conditions, I don't know if it's in salah only, but your lips have to move.
Now, some scholars say that. That's true.
And so, does that affect your way? You go into the bathroom and you want to say Bismillah and starting to move?
So that's a good question. Many of the ulama say, عليك أن تحرك شفتيك. They say you have to move your lips. ويستدلون بفعل النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام في الصلاة. And they use as a proof the action of the Messenger of Allah in the salah. In the salah. لكن هل هذا شرط? But is that a condition? Did you remember Allah if your lips didn't move? It appears the answer is yes. That's not a condition. That your lips have to move. Although many of the ulama say you move your lips. Sahih. But is that a condition? At any rate, remember, you don't have to make a sound. You don't have to make a sound. In the salah, قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام إذا كبر الإمام فكبروا. الحديث من حديث أبي هريرة وحديث أنس في الصحيحين. The Messenger of Allah says, when the Imam says Allahu Akbar, then say Allahu Akbar. Collected by Bukhari and Muslim, narrated by Anas and Abu Hurairah. كيف يكبرون أو كيف يكبر الصحابة في الصلاة? How did the companions say Allahu Akbar? جهرا أو سرا? Did they say it out loud or to themselves? To themselves. Right? So the Prophet said, say it. He didn't say it out loud. Likewise on Jumu'ah, the Imam is making some beautiful dua. فائدة ثالثا. Benefit number 3. هذا ليس بشرط. ولا يكون من سنة النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام في كل جمعة. Another benefit connected to Jumu'ah. It's not a condition that you have to end the Jumu'ah and start making dua. It's not a condition. Most of the A'immat of today, في بلاد المسلمين وفي غيرها, and the Muslim lands and outside the Muslim lands, at the end of the Jumu'ah, يبدأون أن يكبروا وأن يدعوا. They begin to make dua. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And they make many dua. That's not a sunnah of the Messenger عليه الصلاة والسلام. That you have to stop the Jumu'ah upon dua. There's no proof for that. If you want to make dua, make dua. Many scholars say don't make dua every Jumu'ah. Like that. Why? Because the Prophet didn't do that. So back to our sister's point, you don't have to make a sound. The Prophet of Allah would say, Gufranaka. He didn't say he said it out loud. He said he said it. Al-farqu bayna an yaqula shay'an wa yaqula shay'an jahran. There's a difference, ya ikhwan, than to say something and to say something out loud. I say, say Bismillah. And you say, I said, I didn't hear you. It's not a condition you have to hear me. I said it. The companions would say, Allahu Akbar to themselves. That's the sunnah of the companions. A lot of the masajid, the people say, Allahu Akbar behind the Imam. Allahu Akbar in a sultan aliyan with a loud voice. هذا ليس من السنة. وقال الشيخ ابن الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله تعالى هذا بدعة. And Ibn Taymiyyah used to say Allahu Akbar out loud بدون حاجة, without a need, is a bid'ah. The companions did not do that. They said it to themselves. The Prophet would say Allahu Akbar. They would say, it's not a sunnah. Our sister. Huh?
So if somebody comes to Jumu'ah and then this most of the khutbah, like it's like 5 minutes left of the khutbah, and they're arriving at masjid and then they listen for the 5 minutes, they have to pray a little the whole Zuhr.
Good question. If the person comes late to Jumu'ah and they come 5 minutes late, do you mean of the Jumu'ah, the khutbah, or the prayer? The khutbah. If you hear the last minute of the khutbah, then you pray Jumu'ah prayer. If you didn't catch the whole khutbah, you came, you pray your sunnah, and you sit. ثم قال الإمام أقيموا أو قوموا لصلاتكم يرحمكم الله مثلا. As soon as you get done and you sit, the Imam says, stand up for your prayer. May Allah have mercy upon you all. He didn't catch the Jumu'ah khutbah, but he prays 2 raka'ah. He prays 2 raka'ah. If he comes in the first raka'ah, فاتته الخطبة مثلا وفاتته كذلك الركوع. يصلي ركعة واحدة مع الإمام ويعيد الركعة لأنه أتى في الركوع في الركعة الأولى في ركعة الأولى. The man comes after the khutbah in the first raka'ah or the sister. The imam is in the bowing position, the ruku'. When he comes up, the person enters the salah. He has to repeat that raka'ah because he didn't catch it on the ruku'. The man comes after the khutbah and the last raka'ah of the Jumu'ah prayer. بعد الركوع, after the ruku'. ينوي نيته للظهر. Now he makes his intention to pray dhuhr. He missed the Jumu'ah. No.
Yeah, he prays 4 rak'ah.
He prays 4 rak'ah. Unless there's only one person who doesn't pray 4 rak'ah. Let's say who's the Bukhari of our group and the Sulaim of the sisters. If you come late and the Imam yusallimu, he gives salam, salam alaikum. Everybody prays 2 rak'ah. The Jumu'ah. Everybody prays 2 rak'ah. With the Imam. He comes late, he prays 4 for dhuhr. Everybody prays 4 except one individual. Who prays 2? The traveler. If he's traveling and he comes to Jumu'ah, he doesn't have to pray 4 rak'ah. Why? لأنه يسافر, because he's traveling. So he will pray 2 rak'ah of dhuhr. فائدة رابعة, benefit number 4. إذا العبد يأتي متأخرا مثلا وهو مسافر بعد انتهائه الجمعة لا يضم الأسرى. هذا ليس بالصحيح. Another benefit. If someone is traveling and they come to Jumu'ah, it's not obligatory, but you still can get the good deed. And he prays the Jumu'ah with the Imam. He should not stand up and pray Asr after that. Because Jumu'ah is not dhuhr. You can't pray Asr with Jumu'ah. The strongest opinion is that the Jam' is for the dhuhr and the Asr, or the Maghrib and the Isha, not for the Jumu'ah and the Asr. Wallahu ta'ala. Some scholars say you can do that, but the strongest opinion is that the Jam' is for the dhuhr and the Asr, not for the Jumu'ah and the Asr. Those that say you can do so, they say because Jumu'ah is in place of dhuhr. However, there's no proof that you can combine Jumu'ah with the Asr. No. For the Amar, you had your hand?
I was asking because I think I heard you say it's recommended to stand up when you're using.
No, not obligatory. Some scholars say it's obligatory, but the strongest opinion is that is recommended. Allah. No. For the men? For the men. You can say for the men and women, but women is usually going to sit unless there's a need. At any rate, this is generally طيب. قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حديث الثاني, second hadith. طيب. لحديث عائشة رضي الله عنها أن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام كان إذا خرج من الغائط قال غفرانك ويقول معه الحمد لله الذي أذهب عني الأذى وعافاني. طيب. A second benefit. There's another narration narrated by our mother Aisha. Aisha's narration is collected by the Imam Ahmed, Abu Dawood, in the Tirmidhi. Imam Ahmed, Abu Dawood, in the Tirmidhi, also Ibn Majah. Ahmed, Abu Dawood, Tirmidhi, and Ibn Majah. All the Sunan except for Nasa'i. She said the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu salam, when he came out from al-Gha'it, using the hammam. Gha'it is usually a number 2. It can also be used for relieving oneself. He would say, Gufranaka. Oh Allah, I seek your forgiveness. And he would say, with this, all praise belongs to Allah, the one that has taken away from me this pain or this discomfort, wa'afani, and pardon me. Or given me good well-being, will be more accurate. هذا الحديث عند الإمام أحمد وأبي داود والترمذي وابن ماجه بإسناد حسن. This wording or this chain is a Hasan chain. The hadith of Aisha is different than the hadith of Anas. The hadith of Anas was weak. Who was in the chain?
Ismail.
Ahsantum. Ismail ibn Muslim. طيب, Aisha's chain is a Isnadun Hasan. It has a good or a Hasan chain. في إسناده يوسف ابن أبي بردة. In the chain of Aisha, our second man of tonight, Yusuf ibn Abi Barda. Yusuf ibn Abi Barda. He makes the hadith Hasan. He makes the hadith Hasan. Yusuf ibn Abi Barda. So Ismail ibn Muslim is weak. Yusuf ibn Abi Barda he makes the hadith Hasan. Some scholars say he is thiqa. Some scholars say he has some errors. No.
Since we have two narrations, it is.
No.
It's
Two narrations, two different narrators.
same word.
Same wording. Can we take the weak narration of Anas and say that it's Hasan? The answer is yes. Some scholars say the hadith of Anas is weak, but the hadith itself is weak, but from other reports is raised up to be Hasan. Shaykh al-Albani says the hadith is Hasan, meaning it has some weakness in it, but there are other reports to raise it up, like the hadith of Aisha. So a benefit. Hasan li ghayri. Ahsant ya Shaykh.
So the hadith of Aisha is Hasan.
Hadith of Aisha is Hasan li dhatihi. The hadith of Anas originally is da'if. It can also be raised up to be Hasan li ghayrihi. Hasan li ghayrihi asluhu da'if. The Hasan, by way of other reports, originally is weak. So these two hadith is a hadith science review for our brothers and sisters tonight. Hadith Anas is asluhu da'ifun. The origin of it, hadith Anas, is that it is weak. وَمِنْ عِدَّةِ طُرُقٍ يَرْتَقِي إِلَى دَرْجَةِ الْحَسَنِ لِغَيْرِهِ. But because there are other reports, it can be raised up to be Hasan by way of other narrations. From the ones to support it is the hadith of Aisha. May Allah bless you all, ya akhwan. And that's how difficult the science of hadith is. The more you learn, the more quiet you are. And that's a benefit. Some brothers say, why don't you refute this? Or why don't you refute that one? And why you didn't say anything about that one? You say, the more you learn, the more you're quiet. Al-Imam Ahmad, ya akhwan, يستغربني عندما سمعت هذا. I was amazed when I heard this. Imam Ahmad مثلا في مسائل الخلافية في أغلب الأوقات يقول لا أدري اسأل غيري لأن العلماء يختلفون. Imam Ahmad used to say oftentimes in those issues that the scholars differ in, he would say, I don't know. Ask somebody else. I don't know. Because the scholars differ. If there are issues that there's some proofs over here and there's some proofs over here, many times Imam Ahmad you'll say, I don't know. Al-Imam Al-Husayn ibn Jamil قال قولا عظيم جدا عن Imam Malik. The great narrator Al-Husayn ibn Jamil, he used to say a tremendous statement about Imam Malik. قال شهدت مالكا ويسأل عن 48 مسألة. He said, I saw Imam Malik one day. I saw him. He was asked about 48 questions one time. وفي 32 منها قال لا أدري. And in 32 of the 48, he said, I don't know. وقال ابن وهب إذا كتبنا عن مالك قوله لا أدري لملأنا الأرواح. أو كما قال رحمه الله. Ibn Wahab, a student of Imam Malik, he used to say, if we were to write down every time Imam Malik said, I don't know, we would have filled up many manuscripts. If we write down when he said, I don't know, we're going to have books. What's the point here, ya ikhwan? العلم يا اخوان يجعل العبد متواضعا ليس متكبرا ويقول لا أدري أكثر لأنه يزداد في العلم فيقول لا أدري. What's the point here? Knowledge makes the person humble. It doesn't make you refute this and refute that and refute everything that comes your way. No. It makes you humble. It doesn't make you arrogant. It doesn't make you think you're better than someone else. No. And you're going to increase in saying, I don't know. You're also going to increase in saying, as somebody else. Don't be like most of those students on the YouTube, on the TikTok, on the hip hop, on the Messenger, on all the different apps. And they have to answer every question, ya ikhwan. Don't be those students, ya ikhwan. لا تستعجلوا. Don't rush. Don't be in haste. إذا عندك العلم فقدمه. If you have knowledge, then give it. إذا ما عندك فلا تستحيوا أن تقول لا أدري. If you don't have no knowledge, don't be shy to say, I don't know. You say, I don't know. And don't be like those students, I don't know, but. I don't know, however. No, you don't know, you don't know. And when you grow again, you're going to say, ask somebody else. Ask somebody else. Don't be those students that you have to get all of the questions. No, yeah, ikhwan. If your brother answered it and he's correct, what do you think? I'm with my brother. Sometimes it hurts when you see those panels. You don't find this from the ulama, from the students of knowledge. You see this. Where these 5 brothers are on the panel, they ask him a question, he answers. But the other brother, his answer wasn't sufficed. So when they ask him a question, he comments on his answer. That's from bad manners. You shouldn't do that. If the brother answered and what he said is correct, his answer is his answer. When it's your answer, I just want to comment on what the sheikh said there, ikhwan, and I want to add to that. No, that's from bad manners. You don't find that from the scholars. The scholar answers, even if this other sheikh doesn't agree with him. But there's proof of that. He's going to be quiet. That's some good manners. And sometimes, ikhwan, it's not about spreading the knowledge. It's about showing off. It's about showing off. And that's contradicting al-ikhlas. You don't have to show off to no one. How many times you ask somebody a question, hey, how's your day? Yeah, you know, alhamdulillah, I'm just reading this book, mashallah, ya akhi. Alhamdulillah. You can say that, but you don't have to. That can be between you and Allah. That can be between you and Allah. And that's the best way. So you won't become arrogant. Like the word sheikh. Everybody's a sheikh now, ya ikhwan. Everybody. I don't mean the sheikh out of respect, or elderly, or the married brother, or the person over a tribe. No. When we call everybody a sheikh, he's a scholar. When did everybody in America become scholars, ya ikhwan? What summer? What year? What crash course did we all take, mashallah ta'ala, in 3 months? وَأَصْبَحْنَا جَمِيعًا مِنْ أَئِمَّةِ هَذَا الدِّينِ. When everybody's a sheikh now. Where? It's okay to say ustad, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Or mudarris, mashallah. Or brother, such and such. Or the servant of Allah, such and such. It's okay, ikhwan. You don't have to say, hey, you don't have to put my name, sheikh, such. No, ya akhi. No. The scholars don't talk like that. When you hear the scholars talking to each other, they don't say, hey, I'm sheikh, such and such. No. They say, I'm brother, such and such. The sister from the scholars, she don't say, hey, I'm sheikha, kada wa kada. No. She say, I'm sister, such and such. Or she may say, I'm ustada, such and such. Or I'm teacher, such and such. No problem. But now, everybody's a sheikh. Even brothers that have no mushaykh, they're a sheikh. Didn't study anything, he's a sheikh. She didn't learn anything, she's a sheikh. No. Why can't we all just learn our religion? If you're a scholar, alhamdulillah, no problem. But if you're not, it's honorable to just be a student of knowledge. And may Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. تجاوز وقتنا. إذا say إقامة or أذان يا إخوان. May Allah bless you, ya ikhwan. Our hour goes by so fast, ya ikhwan. May Allah make it easy. The brother says we leave questions at the bottom. You don't do a good job of answering the questions. We try our best, ya ikhwan. May Allah make me better. Sometimes on the timeline, it goes down. We're going to do like our beloved brother Mufti does, inshallah ta'ala, where he gets someone to read the questions, inshallah. Sometimes I go to reply, and it goes down. And then someone says something else, and it goes down. And I may not do a good job of scrolling up. I try to, but I hear that a lot. You don't answer the questions that much. It's no disrespect there. I try my best to answer. And may Allah pardon me and make me better, ya ikhwan. Man يريد أن يؤذن. Who wants to call the adhan tonight, ya ikhwan? May Allah bless you, ya ikhwan. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله